Hey, Dan Candell here. I get emails every single day and messages every single day from people who have seen my TED Talk or from people who have seen my presentations, all asking me questions, and it usually boils down to the same thing. It's all about anxiety. It's all about stress or nervousness or worry. So I want to address something that is about that today. I recently got a message from somebody on Facebook saying, I've suffered with anxiety for such a long time, and how do I overcome it? What are some ways that I can stop the pattern? So I want to go through 5 ways today that can help you detach from that anxious lifestyle or from that generalized anxiety or panic or constant worry. Because when you think about it, anxiety can hold you back from many different things. From trying new things, from getting out of your comfort zone, from driving down the highway, or even from getting a new job. It can stop us from exploring the opportunities that we really ought to be able to do. So here are some ways that I help people deal with anxiety and help people reduce it. So the first thing to do is to educate yourself about it. You see, anxiety isn't something that you have to suffer from. We tell ourselves all the time this story, this tape that kind of goes over and over in our head, and often it's how we do not want to feel. So the first thing to do is educate yourself about anxiety and to understand that there are ways to break free from it. It's not something that you have to keep in your life constantly and all the time. The other thing with educating yourself about anxiety is also understanding that it's okay to be anxious in some situations. You see, you should be feeling anxious about some things because it's just our brain's natural way to help us keep safe. So there are some things that you should feel anxious about, but then there's other things that are mismatched patterns. So for example, you should not feel threatened or anxious about driving down a highway. You shouldn't feel threatened or anxious about giving a sales presentation. You shouldn't feel threatened or anxious when you go and you practice or show the skills that you have as an athlete or in sports, or even just to talk to somebody on the phone or talk to new people. So when you educate yourself about anxiety and you truly understand what it is, then you can understand also ways that you can start to overcome that anxious pattern. The second thing to do is when you're feeling anxious, recognize it. And when you recognize it, there's a very simple way that can stop the pattern. In fact, one of the ways that you can stop the pattern is by envisioning or visualizing or imagining exactly that, a stop sign. So the next time you feel anxious, find yourself worrying or even panicking, I want you to recognize that feeling, recognize where it is in your body. And then imagine at that place in your body, let's say it's anxiety in your chest or anxiety in your stomach. What I want you to do is imagine a stop sign right there. And imagine, picture, or visualize that stop sign kind of taking all that negative energy and deflecting it back. Almost like a superhero. And when you think of the stop sign in place of that anxiety, it stops the pattern. Now, once you think of the stop sign, there's a second part to this. You have to really think about how you want to feel instead. So now that I'm no longer feeling anxious, how do I want to feel? And usually, most of my clients tell me I want to feel calm, relaxed, confident, or in control. And when you think about times of when you felt calm, relaxed, confident, in control, your mind starts to go to those places. So when you create that stop sign, then you create that go-to, it will help you break away from that pattern. The third thing is network. Network and talk to other people. However, do not talk to other people about how anxious you are, because that will just reinforce the pattern. Talk to other people who have also had anxiety, but overcame that anxiety or overcame that worry. Because when you talk to other people about strategies that they have used, you start to create the thought in your mind and the reality that you too can break free from that pattern that you've been creating and going over and over and over again. You see, the more you talk about the anxieties you have, the deeper groove that carves in your brain. So when you network with other people, or maybe join a group, or it could be a group online, it could be a group in somebody's therapy center, it could be a hypnosis group. But when you start to network with other people and you see how they've broken free from their anxieties, from their worries, from their stresses, it gives you more hope as well. Number 4, set a time aside to worry. Now, I was actually talking to my assistant right before this, and as I was planning out to shoot this video, she said, set time aside to worry? That seems kind of counterintuitive. And it really does seem counterintuitive. However, when you set a time aside to worry, that's all you're doing, and no more than 3 minutes. We don't want to create that pattern any more than 3 minutes. So when you set time aside to worry, you dedicate energy into that, and that becomes your worry time. But as soon as that 3 minutes is over, boom, imagine that stop sign and then move on to something else. That will prevent you from worrying all throughout the day, just giving yourself a small window of opportunity. Number 5, set affirmations of how you want to feel, of how you'd rather feel, and repeat those affirmations over and over again, such as, I am calm, I am relaxed, I am in control, or an affirmation such as, I am valuable, I am an important asset to society. You want to tell yourself and repeat these affirmations over to yourself several times, and even write them down, commit them to memory. Because what this is going to do, it's going to change the tape you've been playing over and over and over in your mind. When you change that tape and you stop yourself from saying all those negative words, all those negative patterns, it will help you integrate more of the positive, empowering patterns, thoughts, feelings, and sensations into your life. So let's go over these 5 things again very briefly and just do a recap. Number 1, educate yourself. Understand that anxiety is something you can break away from. Number 2, use a mental stop sign. Once you recognize that you have anxiety, picture a mental stop sign where you feel that feeling in your body and think about how you'd rather feel instead. Bring your mind to a more calm and relaxed place. Number 3, network with people who have overcome their anxiety so that you have hope and you can also learn from them. Number 4, set aside time to worry. As I said, it may sound counterintuitive, but when you set that narrow window, you can move on to other better opportunities. And number 5, creating those affirmations. Stopping that tape, that negative tape that you've been playing over your entire life that you may have learned or that may have once served you. Anxiety may have served you in one area of your life, but I can guarantee you, if it holds you back, it no longer serves you in the way it did before. Now, my name is Dan Candell, and if you would like to find out more information about how I can help you break that pattern of anxiety, then you can feel free to contact me using one of the contact forms on this page. And please remember, as always, do good, be well, and be true to who you are.